Let's begin with inflation because it ended the year 2021 with a double-digit rate as December inflation hit 12.6%. Now, this is a 0.4% higher than what was recorded in November. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the surge in inflation was driven by an increase in non-food inflation rate. Also, prices of goods and services went up by 1.2% between November and December last year. Here's the government statistician, Professor Samuel Kopena-Eneng, explaining what exactly entered into this figure.
We narrowed down on the region with the highest inflation, that is the Upper West region. As was indicated, the Upper West region had the highest year-on-year inflation of 31.1%, and had the highest inflation of 18.6%, with food and non-alcoholic beverages recording the highest inflation of 31.1%. It should be emphasized that from a weight perspective, in the Upper West region, food and non-alcoholic beverages has the highest weight of 0.7%. Narrowing down on food inflation for the Upper West region, we saw vegetables within the food category recording the highest inflation rate of 47.1%, culminating in a food inflation of 31.1%. Highlights of December 2021 Consumer Price Index and rate of inflation. On a year-on-year basis, that is between December 2021 and between December 2020 and December 2021, overall inflation stood at 12.6%. This literally means that prices of goods and services have gone up by 12.6% between December 2020 and December 2021. This is the 6th consecutive month in a row that prices of goods and services have gone up, indicating a 4.8% difference between the rate recorded in June 2021, which was 7.8%, relative to December 2021, 12.6%. On a month-on-month basis between November 2021 and December 2021, prices of goods and services went up by 1.2%. The gap between food and non-food inflation has been narrowed for the month of December 2021 to a gap of 0.3 percentage point, as food inflation stood at 12.8 relative to 12.5 for non-food inflation. We observe parity between food and non-food inflation on a monthly basis, as both categories recorded inflation of 1.2%. 3 categories recorded inflation figures higher than the national average of 12.6, with housing and transport leading the divisions with the highest rate of inflation, specifically with housing, water, electricity and gas 20.7%, and transport, which includes fuel, 17.6%. The third category, or the third division that had the highest rate of inflation higher than the national average, was food and non-alcoholic beverages, which stood at 12.8%. The contribution of food and non-alcoholic beverages for the month of December 2021 shrank by 2.9%, as its contribution reduced from 47.7% in the month of November 2021 to 45.2% in the month of December 2021. Locally produced items continue to dominate imported items, specifically with locally produced items being 13.1% and imported items being 10.5%. Inflation rates for Upper West region continue to be the highest with 18.6%, and Eastern region has the lowest inflation of 7.4%.